Plebe Summer emphasizes the mission of the U.S. Naval Academy to develop midshipmen morally, mentally, and physically. In just 6 weeks, your sons and daughters will be taught the strong mental framework critical to becoming a successful naval officer. As they make the transition from civilian life to a strict military regiment, they will be instilled with a sense of personal honor, integrity, and dedication to the naval service. Through the shared experience of Plebe Summer, they will develop a camaraderie with their classmates that will last a lifetime.
Here, Mr. Snow, the rest of you, come on, let's go.
In the dawn hours of induction day, parents say goodbye to their sons and daughters, placing them in the care of the Plebe Summer detailers. Plebes are processed and medically screened, issued their uniforms, and given haircuts.
Make sure it's big. Make sure it's big.
I'll now be teaching you the hand salute. Ready? Hand salute. Your right hand will come up, parallel to the deck. Your fingertips and your wrist and your elbow will form a straight line. Your hand will come to the corner of your eyebrow or your glasses. Turn your hand inward so that the palm may not be seen by the person in front of you. On the command cut, you'll return your right hand to your side and come to the position of attention. Ready? Cut. Right face.
As the sun sets over T Court, friends and family gather to catch a glimpse of their transformed son or daughter at the Oath of Office ceremony.
Roll!
Commandant of Midshipmen issues the oath of office.
Having been appointed a midshipman in the United States Navy, you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. You will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. You take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of which you are about to enter, so help you God.
Families are briefly reunited, new haircuts and uniforms are admired, and goodbyes are said. And plebe summer begins. The plebes learn a completely new way of life centered on Bancroft Hall.
You will now have 7 minutes to go to your room, shave your face, make your racks, hygiene, and fall out for bed. Is that clear? Sir, yes, sir. Ready! Execute!
The plebes get their first taste of rigorous military training beginning with their daily morning workout. The physical education program, or PEP, lasts for an hour and a half each morning. The essence of the Navy is the sea. Each plebe learns the basic rules of boat handling and sailing.
My name is Nick Rowan. I'm an ensign, graduated from United States Naval Academy. Today we'll be teaching plebes how to sail. First things we do, we make sure they have their life jackets on, they hop on the boat. We teach them how to rig, de-rig a boat. We'll teach them the proper ways, how to depart. We teach them how to use a tiller, which shows how to drive the boat. We also teach them the important points to sail so they'll know where they want to go on the water. Out on the water, we teach them how to drive with this thing called the tiller. It's how you steer the boat. We also teach them how to use the mainsail, which can also be used to steer the boat depending on how strong the wind is. And we also teach them how to read wind direction. And we teach them basically safety and all these important things. The biggest reason we do this during plebe summer, just so the plebes can have some experience knowing on the water. It also gives the plebes a sense of responsibility, because even in the fleet, you have to understand where boats are. So just being on the water, it teaches them how to avoid collisions. It teaches them sense of awareness and gives them some responsibility.
The plebes practice the fundamentals of military drill and discipline. They participate in several parades reviewed by the Commandant of Midshipmen. Is required to lead in combat under all kinds of circumstances.
Scott Lombardi, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Today we're running the O course, obstacle course. It's a series of obstacles that we have the plebes do throughout their time here. And the first one's the high bar, and then there's the decline, then there's 2 high walls and a high log. There's a series of rhythm logs, parallel bars, and then our culminating event here is the rope. It's a test of both physical and mental perseverance, physical and mental endurance, because you could get over all these obstacles super fast, but when you throw them all together and try to do it all in one course, it gets really tiring, so you have to learn how to manage and conserve your energy as well as do it safely.
This is the confidence course, and basically it's a course set up to instill teamwork, trust. Every company goes through it one time during the summer. Most of them aren't afraid of heights, and some of them have already done this, before, but the ones that haven't, it is definitely a test of their courage, basically, to go through it and then have somebody help them through it. The way it sets up is they climb up a couple logs, and then they're going to walk out across the beam log. They're going to jump into the cargo net. We have them belayed at that point. They'll jump in, they'll climb up a cargo net, they'll hook in, go around, they'll go across a double rope traverse, a single rope traverse, then they go up 2 Burma bridges that gets them up to about 30 feet in the air. And then at that point they do a couple fixed tension crossings. They'll cross across it, they do the island hopping, which they all think is the hardest, but it's actually not a bad. If they step down and get on it, just move across it, it's pretty easy. They'll do a downslide, climb down a pole, and then they'll swing back into another cargo net, and they'll climb back up a cargo net to 30 feet, and then they'll zip line down to the end. And at that point, we take them off, and hopefully they made it through.
Weapons safety and handling are central to any military training.
I'm Midshipman First Class Gantz. Here is the rifle and pistol range. Plebes come here, they learn how to shoot. They shoot the M4 and the M18. They learn marksmanship, the basics of marksmanship, and how to manipulate firearms. We do this during plebe summer to get plebes comfortable with the idea of working with firearms. In the military, firearms are everywhere. They also come here to learn how to take in a lot of information and then immediately perform with that information. So this is the pistol range. We've got the targets obviously set up, and then we've got a 3, a 5, and a 15-yard firing line. The plebes will shoot from all 3 lines. At the 15-yard line, they will actually go down to a kneeling position and shoot at a kneeling position. All other firing positions are standing. All right, so the rifle side is very much like the pistol side. On the rifle side, there's 3 targets. One is for a standing course of fire, one for kneeling, and then one for prone. They start out prone, work their way up from prone to kneeling to standing. They do a couple courses of fire that are slow. They might have 5 minutes to shoot 5 bullets. Whereas there's some courses of fire that are rapid fire. They have to shoot 5, reload, shoot 5 more.
Basic shipboard damage control and firefighting principles are taught and practiced.
My name is ET2 Coop Haley. Today we are facilitating DC training for the midshipmen, or the plebes of the summer. Okay, so today we are facilitating 4 stations. Station 1 is going to be the adductors, where they're going to learn how to pump the water out of a space. Station 2 is going to be the P100, which is also pumping water out of a space. You've got the Jubilee patches, which is going to be covering up the pipe and making sure that there's no water coming through, as well as the soft patches, which is essentially going to do the same thing as a Jubilee patch. Okay, so during the P100 station, they go through and we have a checklist for them to accomplish. It basically runs through everything that they need to do to get the pump started themselves. We're going to have a demonstration done by the DCmen, who will show them exactly how it's done beforehand, and then they will go ahead and facilitate it on their own.
Damage Control First Class Petty Officer Jeanette McGuire. Today we are teaching the plebes all about firefighting. We're teaching them fire science, the different classes of fires and what we use to put them out, and then we have them go through a simulated fire to hose handle. We do this during plebe summer to give the midshipmen a basis of what they need to do and what they're going to continue learning out through their career. So it's a good foundation for them. We have them dress out in the FFE gear and teach them all about the components, how it protects us, how we breathe our air when we're going into a fire, and keeping our skin safe. We have the sailors dress out and go into the building. It's all smoked out, it's dark, and we have lights in there to keep it safe. And we teach them how to hose handle and fight the fire. Station 3, that's where we do our fire science. That we learn about the different classes of fire and extinguishing agents. For that, we have them test out CO2 bottles, which we use on Charlie Fire, so it gives them a little hands-on action on how the equipment is actually used in a real-life scenario.
Distinguished speakers share their thoughts and experiences regarding honor, integrity, and virtue. Honor is the foremost influential factor in the decision-making process of a naval officer.
I've also been told a couple of things that if I say class of 1990, for example, I might say class of. I couldn't hear that. Say that again. Class of. Okay.
All of you, including me, at one time walked through that gate, and we stood out in T court, raised our right hands, and in that singular moment we swore an oath to support and defend our nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
The motivation for me was that I found a way that I could punish myself that would lead to a reward of victory, right? So I wanted the win more than I wanted to stop the pain. And I looked at the pain as a way to, through the suffering, through the sacrifice came the reward.
The journey that you began just that short 2 weeks ago is now going to begin to define that foundation for the rest of your life, of that building block called character. The decisions you make, the consequences that come from it, they all belong to you. Every single one of us will get that opportunity, and hopefully you'll get to the point where I did, where you can go take command, where you can say those 3 great words.
They learn honor, courage, and commitment every day at Plebe Summer. They're not allowed to cheat or lie to make their lives easier, which practices honor. They have to push themselves and get outside of their comfort zone for courage. And through it all, they have to remain rooted in their purpose and the bigger picture for when they commission.